The gospel is not the law, and the law is not the gospel. One of the ways the Christian life can get out of alignment really quickly is when we take two things that are very vital for our faith and we mix them up with each other. The law and the gospel are important. In some ways, they're two sides of the same coin, but they are different sides and they serve different purposes. And when we get those confused with each other, we're going to get bent out of shape pretty quickly. The message of the gospel is not do more or try harder. And the message of the law is not a message of grace and forgiveness. The message of the law is that you have failed, you have fallen short, you cannot measure up to a holy God. And the gospel is that you have been forgiven because somebody else perfectly obeyed the law for you and credited that obedience to you on your behalf. When we sin or we're dealing with sin in someone else's life, or we're convicted about past sin, it can be very tempting for us to turn to the law to muster up our own strength, as though we'll just try harder and we'll just do better next time. And yes, there is an element at which repentance does come into play here. But when we are facing our sin, we don't need the message of do more, try harder, because we're never going to achieve God's holiness on our own. What we need in the face of our sin or in the face of other people's sin is a message of grace that someone else did for you what you could not do for yourself. All of us are prone to either minimizing sin or minimizing grace. We all lean in one direction or another on that, and the Christian life requires both. And the law and the gospel together help us see the severity of the sin of our sin and the magnitude of God's grace. But when we get those two things confused, we neither have grace nor law, we just have confusion. The gospel ceases to be good news if it becomes about what we can do to earn God's love, rather than being the message about God's love and how he has proved that to us and doing for us something we can never do on our own.